What's up, folks? It is Lance here. We are on the Tuesday night dialed gravel ride on the Heritage Trail. My teammates are already leaving me as we start. Try to be respectful on the trail. Let's have some fun on the gravel. Hello, folks. This is the regular Tuesday evening gravel ride with our dialed cycling team. Sometimes we have 10 or 12 people show up. Sometimes we have 5 or 6. Tonight there was only 5 or 6 of us. And this is kind of a race pace. I did a video about this ride a few weeks ago or a month ago that kind of shows us going through the different sections of this race of this ride. And today we're gonna do that again on a different day with a different set of people. So I'm actually coming around and starting to feel pretty good. And so I was kind of at the front for most of this ride tonight, which was perfectly fine. It helps me practice a different set of riding, doing some tempo efforts, maybe even trying to break away and try to hold a break. All of that is kind of race practice stuff. And this ride, we have several sections where we go pretty hard and then we regroup and we kind of go from there. This is a section through Lacamus Lake Regional Park, and where we kind of rip through a couple sections. I was on the front through most of that. We regrouped. We do this little downhill, where we go across this bridge where there's this nice waterfall. It was pretty nice weather tonight, other than it was quite windy. And so I was kind of surprised that there were not that many people in the park or on the gravel roads that we were. There were a few people, and we were respectful about those people and calling them out. When I pass somebody, I usually say, hey, there's 6 more people behind me, so they kind of know what to expect. And people were pleasant this evening, and I hope they feel we were pleasant with them. So this is the end of Piper's Dream segment and the start of the Washougal Greenway trail here, this little elevated spot that was probably covered in water not too long ago, because when the spring runoff happens and the Columbia River gets high, the Washougal River backs up and we get some water here. So here we are, ripping through a couple sections. What you can't see, there's a shadow there. There were 3 or 4 people that were holding on to my wheel. I'm trying to push the pace just a little bit so they get some practice riding at a faster pace on the gravel bike in a group. And that's kind of the point of this ride, is to do some efforts with other people, to test each other a little bit, and to get like race practice with other people, hopefully teammates. And we open this ride up to the whole community. We post it on our dialed cycling club team page on Strava, and so anybody can kind of show up. Here's a tight squeeze. Yes, I know my bike and pedals barely fit through there, but I've been through that little section enough that I know it fits, so I have to just trust it every time that I'm going to go and make sure I hold my land through it. I've never clipped the tree or the cement block since. And then this is the back way through the cement plant, where we come ripping through, and we have to cut along the railroad tracks to skip the fence that they put up to keep people out. Sorry, it didn't work for the cyclists. From here, we cut through an area called Parker's Landing. There is a boat ramp here. And as we were going through the parking lot, we almost got taken out by a car. If you look right up ahead of me, she didn't quite look. She looked at the very last minute and saw us. Thankfully, she saw us. That happens sometimes riding through parking lots. The sun was right in her eyes. Also would have been a little more difficult to see us. Luckily, no issues at all right there. From there, we end up on the Washougal Dike path. Again, we had a bit of a 10-mile-an-hour tailwind at this point, and so we were moving along pretty good here. And we started trading pulls for the first half. This is like 4.5 miles out, and then we turn around and come 4.5 miles back. After the first 2 miles, we were all working Paceline. This is a good spot for us to practice gravel pacelining, which is different than road pacelining because you don't really kind of see what's coming. But after the first 2 miles, we turned to the newer section of the trail, and I tried to get away. I actually didn't mean to get away. When I went to the front, I picked up the pace just a little bit, and it was just a little bit too much for the other folks who were with me. So when you have like a 5 second gap, I just tried to increase it to the very end as far as I could go, and I didn't beat the rest of the guys by much. Here's the very end of the trail, and boom, there's Alan Plank. He's right there, just a few seconds behind me, and there's Josh, just a few seconds behind him. So it just kind of split up there at the end. And here comes Rocky. He wasn't very too far behind either. So we kind of had a nice little roll here today. On the way back, we took it much easier along the dike path because of the headwind, and it seemed like nobody was really motivated to really kind of drill it at this point, which is also perfectly fine. But I mean, the path was in good shape. There weren't many people on it. We just kind of traded poles going back here for a little bit, and it was quite lovely. Earlier in this ride, I broke a spoke on my rear wheel. So my rear wheel was completely out of true. I do not think I broke the spoke on this ride. I think I broke it over the weekend on the Cascade Gravel Grinder in Central Oregon. And I think it probably cracked over the weekend because it was a really rough course. And then I probably just snapped it during this ride. So I had to pull the broken spoke out and see if I could still ride, and it looked like I was fine, so I'm gonna have to fix that today. For those of you who have done this ride before, at the regroup spot just past Terry's Way, there's a stop sign, and I put the spoke into the stop sign. So if my spoke is there, it is a remembrance of Lance freaking Hepler was here one time. So you probably won't ever see it. From here, once we got back into Lacamus Park, I attacked again and just tried to see how far I could gap the rest of the group. And I didn't see anybody else all the way to the very end. So I ended up riding all the way through the park on my own, and then all the way through the Heritage Trail on my own. And which, again, it's just kind of like race tactics or race practice. Sometimes you try to make a move stick. Sometimes you stick around and try to work together. So we worked together for part of the ride. And then once I saw again that I had a little bit of a gap, it was like, okay, let's just see if I can hold this off if anybody is going to catch me. And nobody did, which is perfectly fine. So this is a lovely ride tonight. Not many people. This ride is about 30 miles long, 1,000 feet of climbing. It takes a couple hours because we regrouped and we talked with each other, and it was quite lovely. So this is how we try to do our race practice riding. Also, special shout out to my wife. It is our 31st anniversary today. I love you, Brandy Hepler. Thank you for being my partner and being part of my life. She is wonderful. You all should be jealous. Thanks for watching.